sharing my screen. Okay, so sharing my screen now. So I think this is tutorial 8, I guess. So let me see. This doesn't seem to work. Wait a minute. I'll just try one more time. Now it's working. So do you see tutorial 8 at your end?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Any questions? In the material covered so far? Is everything okay?
I have a doubt in assignment number 5, question number 2.
Okay. So let me just open that. Just let me open. Just a minute. So I think that is being graded, is it? Isn't it? Question number 2 of assignment 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you are not happy with your grading? Is that a question? Or you want a clarification on the solution?
Both, ma'am. Actually, Samir, the sir Samir did not write like he commented like what is the set E, and then he wrote.
Assignment 5. Do you see assignment 5 at your screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Tell me.
Ma'am, I showed that SN is increasing and TN is decreasing.
Okay.
And then after that, I took 3 cases. Like the first case is my XN is bounded. And then other case was it is bounded from one side. And then the third case was it is unbounded from both ends.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then I use this for the bounded case. There is a theorem in I don't remember the theorem, but in the Cauchy, not in Cauchy. Cauchy. In Cauchy criteria, there is a theorem which has 4 conditions which are equivalent. And from that, I proved this part, whatever is required, and I did for other cases also. And I don't see the reason like why is it wrong. If you could explain.
So, Aman, see, I have not seen what you have written. So I would, send me an email, right? I will sort of look at what you have written and then maybe comment on it. Yeah, is that okay? That's better, right? I'll just check what you have written.
Okay.
Yeah, because let me see what you have written, and then I will be. So you already have a solution. It's not that you are in doubt about that, right? You already have a solution, and that has been graded. So let me see. Yeah. So Aman, can you please send me an email so that I don't forget about it?
Yes, ma'am. But in case, if I'm not able to, then ma'am, please explain it in the next tutorial or next class, whenever it is.
Yes, but I still would like to see what you have done, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes,
yeah. Okay, all right. Anything else?
Ma'am?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, could you please explain question number 2 of assignment 5?
Question number 2. Okay, so there's another question coming on question number 2. See, what is required here is that we did this definition of lim sup and lim inf using subsequences, right? Yeah, so let me write that down. So So do you don't understand what is the question, or you could not attempt the solution? I'm trying to
Ma'am,
understand.
I
Huh.
did something, but
Huh.
it was not correct.
Okay. Okay. So let me see. Let me try to explain the question. So what is the notation used here? There are two sequences, Sn and Tn. Okay. And Sn is increasing. So I believe everybody could attempt this part, right? That the sequence Sn is monotonically increasing and the sequence Tn is monotonically decreasing. Is that part okay with everybody present here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So what are you required to show then? Yeah. Limit Sn is lim inf xn and limit Tn is lim sup xn. Okay. Sorry. So I should. Let's see. So I'm trying to do here is what is required. So this is question number 2 of assignment 5. Yeah, you're required to show that limit Sn is lim inf of the sequence xn, right? So what are you required to show? You look at this set E, which is the set of all subsequential limits of the given sequence xn. Yeah, remember what is this? So you look at all extended real numbers which are recovered as a subsequential limits of the given sequence xn, which means that there exists, just a minute, let me zoom a little bit. There exists a subsequence xnk of the given sequence xn such that this subsequence converges to x as k is allowed to tend to infinity. Correct? Is that okay? And by definition, the lim inf of the sequence xn is the infimum of the set E. Right? Yes. Now, what are you required to show in question number 10? Question number 2 is the following, right? So what are you required to show? You are required to show is that you consider this set E, and we showed this in class that E is always non-empty no matter what, and the infimum of E always exists as an extended real number. Yeah, it may be infinite or negative infinite, but it always exists, and it is also sometimes a real number. Right? What are you required to show? You are required to show that the limit of the sequence Sn is infimum of E. Right? Now again, you look at the definition of the sequence Sn. So Sn is, let me use the same notation, infimum of xm. Recall Sn is infimum of xm such that m is bigger than n. Correct? Is that correct? Yeah, and Sn is monotonically increasing. That's the first thing that you show. Right. Now, over here, also there are two cases to be investigated, right? So if the sequence Sn is bounded above, then we know by monotone convergence theorem that the limit of xn exists as a real number. If the sequence Sn is not bounded above, then what do, right? So in both these cases, you show that the infimum of, not the infimum, the limit of the sequence Sn exists and equals the infimum of E. That is what you are required to show. So do you understand this bit, that this is what you are required to show? Does everybody follow that? Sorry, what am I doing? Did everybody follow that? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. So then. So I think, in the cases when, so we sort of looked at 3 cases last time, right? When we were discussing the limit superior and limit inferior. So there are 3 cases to be investigated. So for example, 3 cases. First is when the infimum of E is positive infinite, which means that the limit inferior of the sequence xn is positive infinite. The second case is the limit inferior of the sequence xn is negative infinite. And the third case is when the limit inferior of the sequence xn is actually a real number, right? So I think cases 1 and 2 were already done in class, isn't it? Does everybody agree with me? We did it for the supremum, so we did it for the lim sup, but exactly the same argument works for the limit inferior also. Is that correct? Does everybody agree with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you have to just sort of repeat the same arguments over here. And what is the new thing here is the last third part. What happens if the infimum of E is actually a real number, right? So in that case, you are required to show that the limit of the sequence Sn exists as a real number, and that is equal to the infimum of E. So does that answer your question? Do you understand what is to be done now? And are you in a better position to sort of take up this question now?
Arguments for the 3 cases and somehow conclude.
Sorry?
Ma'am, could you please repeat once, like, what we have to do? Like,
So I am
couldn't-
saying, so now that, so now you have to look at the following 3 cases. Yeah, once you understand what is to be done. So the first case, when the infimum of E is positive infinite, you have to show that the sequence Sn also converges to positive infinite. And in that case, the limit of Sn would be equal to the infimum of E, that is the liminf of Xn, right? This was done in class. Yeah, we did it for the limit superior, but exactly the same argument works for the limit inferior.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. In the second case, when the infimum of E is negative infinite, then then you show that in this case it turns out that the sequence Sn also converges to negative infinity, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So the
ma'am.
third case, which we did not deal in the class, was when the infimum of E is actually a real number. So this is the case that you need to sort of work out. Yeah. So I am not giving you handing out a solution here. All I'm trying to say tell you is that what is to be done here. So is that part clear? Does everybody follow that? What is that you're required to show here?
Yes, ma'am.
Question is essentially saying that there are 2 definitions of limit inferior and limit superior. You are required to show that the both are equivalent. That's all. And all I'm trying to say is that the needs to be done is only the third part. 1 and 2 were already done in class. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Please feel free to say if you still have doubts. Is that okay? Or you want me to sort of solve it here, or you think you will be able to take it up on your own?
Ma'am, actually, most of the class, I think most of the class hasn't solved this question, and I haven't solved this way, and I'm not able to pick up what
Okay,
has.
so let's see. Let me try to drop few more hints. Yeah, is that okay? Makes you
Yes.
feel a little better. Yeah. Okay. So let us look at the third case. I think first and second were done in class. Yeah. So let's look at the third case for now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me try this. So the claim is that in all of the cases 1, 2, and 3, what is that you're required to show? You are required to show that the limit of the sequence Sn exists and equals a lim inf of the sequence Xn, which is exactly saying this is the infimum of a certain set E. Okay, all right. All right. So let's look at the first thing that whether the left hand side makes sense. Yeah. So that is saying whether the limit of the sequence Sn exists, right? Okay. So I just write this. So it is. So what is that we have seen so far? I assume that everybody here has been able to show that the sequence Sn is monotonically increasing. Is that correct? Can I assume that?
Yes.
That
Yes, ma'am.
it is straightforward to
Yes,
say
ma'am.
that first point, that sequence Sn is monotonically increasing. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? All right. Okay. So whether or not the sequence Sn is bounded above, so if the sequence Sn is bounded above, then the limit of the sequence Sn exists as a real number, right? If the sequence Sn is not bounded above, even in that case, I claim that the limit of the sequence Sn is yeah, so this is something to check. I've just written that straightforward to see that, but this is something to be checked. Limit of the sequence Sn is the supremum of the set Sn as n belongs to n, right? You are looking at the right-hand side here. You are looking at Sn not as a real valued function, but as a subset of R, right? We have talked about this many a times. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this follows from monotone convergence theorem directly, right?
This follows from monotone convergence theorem if the sequence Sn is bounded above. If
Yes,
the
ma'am.
sequence Sn is not bounded above, then you need some work to show this.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I will put a question mark and I will leave this for you to think about. Is that okay? Yeah, is that Aman who asked this question?
First I asked, then Kritika asked, ma'am.
Correct. But yeah, so now, yeah. So is this okay, Aman and Kritika both? So
Yeah.
far, so
Yes,
good with
ma'am.
everybody? Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so let's look at the case when the limit of the sequence Sn is a real number. Yeah. So let's look at the case A when the limit of the sequence Sn is a real number. Yeah, which means that so this is you know so. This is by definition, this is the supremum of Sn and Britton. Yeah. Okay. So let's suppose that this real number is some S0. Yeah. Now, what are we required to show? We are required to show that the infimum of the set E would also be S0 in this case, right? Okay. Okay, all right. Now let's look at the following thing. Yeah. So let's fix some epsilon positive, right? Remember what is that we are required to show? We are required to show that the infimum of the set E is S0, right? Now, what is the set E by definition? Is it is the subset of the extended real numbers and it's a collection of all subsequential limits of the sequence xn, right? So you need to find a subsequence converging to this, right? Okay, so let's see. Now the first thing is following. I claim that having fixed epsilon positive, I claim that there exists sk for some index k such that the following is true. Yeah. So you look at sk is one of Sn's and S0 is the supremum. So this inequality holds true. Yeah, this is true for all indexes n, in particular for the index k, right? There's no problem here, right? Now epsilon is positive, so this inequality is also true. This is true for all indices n, in particular for the index k. And I claim that there exists an index xk such that this inequality is also true. Yeah. Now, what is that I have used here? I've used the fact that S0 is the supremum of Sn. S0 minus epsilon is strictly less than the least upper bound. So there must be an index k such that xk is strictly greater than S0 minus epsilon. Is that correct? Is everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now let's recall the definition of Sk. Yeah. So by definition, just recall that. What is the definition of Sk? Recall at this point that Sk by definition is what? I've written it somewhere, right? It is infimum of xm's. So Sk is infimum of xm's such that m is bigger than k. Yeah, infimum of xk plus 1, and so on. Correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So the inequality, this inequality star which I have, yeah, S0 minus epsilon is strictly less than Sk. Yeah, and Sk is the infimum of these terms. So meaning Sk is a lower bound for all of these. Yeah, so Sk is a lower bound for xk plus 1 and all these terms. So this implies, it follows that what follows? That S0 minus epsilon is strictly less than xm, and this is true for all m's bigger than k. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, is that correct? Okay. Now let's recall the following thing. At this point, so let's note this observation. Yeah, this is one observation. And the other observation is that the sequence Sn is monotonically increasing. Yeah, so let's note that down. So I'll write that observation here. Since the sequence Sn is monotonically increasing, it follows that Sk is less than equal to Sk plus 1, and so on, right? Less than equal to Sk plus 2 and all these terms, and each of them is bounded above by S0. Why? Because S0 is what? S0 is the supremum of Sn's, correct? And which is less than S0 plus epsilon. Is that correct? Everybody with me up till this point? Is that correct? Everybody with me up till this
Yes.
point? Yes?
Yes.
Is that a yes with everybody present here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this last observation tells me that I can write that. So hence the infimum of xm for m bigger than k must be less than equal to the infimum of xm for m bigger than k plus 1. Is that correct? Do you follow this inequality here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and so on. And you can the next so this is the first and so on, right? And the infimum of xm for m bigger than k plus 1 would be less than equal to the infimum of xm for m bigger than k plus 2, all of these. And this goes on. And so I'll just write it down in short in one line. So the infimum of xm for m bigger than k has to be bounded above by the infimum of xm for m bigger than k plus 1, and so on. And each of these is bounded above by s naught, which is strictly less than s naught plus epsilon. Is that correct? Everybody with me up till this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
I've just rewritten this, right? I've just rewritten the above inequality. Yes? In terms of SK. Okay. Now, so this is true for every positive epsilon, right? Is that correct? So far, so good with everybody. Okay. All right. So now let's take the above in particular holds good for epsilon equal to 1 by k also. Yeah. So now let's set epsilon equal to 1 by k and as what happens. So we note this following, right? What do we note? We note that Sk is strictly less than Sk plus 1 by k. This is obviously true. And this is bounded above by S naught plus 1 by k. That's how we have chosen these Sk's, right? So that what happens is the following. Yeah. So I claim that, therefore, there exists a subsequence x and k. Yeah. So x and k, would belong to xk, will consist of terms like xk plus 1, and so on, such that sk is strictly less than x and k is less than, sorry, so all I wanted to write here was sk plus 1 by k. Is that okay? is this last bit okay with everybody present here? That is, Sk is strictly less than Xnk is less than S naught plus by K. Yeah. So what have we achieved by this? We have been able to find a subsequence Xnk of Xn such that the subsequence Xnk converges to S naught. Yeah, please mute yourself, else I will do it. Sorry. So I'll just summarize what is that we have been able to achieve. So there is a subsequence Xnk of the sequence Xn such that the subsequence Xnk converges to S naught. Yeah, remember what was S naught? S naught was the limit of the sequence Sn to begin with. So this shows that that S naught belongs to the set E because E is the set of all subsequential limits of the sequence Xn, right? And therefore it follows that the infimum of E would be, so infimum of E is the greatest lower bound. This would be less than equal to S naught, right? Right. So what is that we have shown? That is, by definition, this is the lim inf of the lim inf of the sequence Xn lim inf of the sequence Xn is strictly less than X naught, is less than S naught. Right, which means that the limit inferior of the sequence Xn is definitely a real number. And your arguments, you can rule out that this cannot be negative infinite in this case. What remains is to show that the lim inf of the sequence Xn cannot be strictly less than S naught. So why is that not possible? No, so here is a set, I am talking about the set E, yeah. So S naught itself is an element in the set E, so better the infimum of E better be equal to S naught, right? But infimum of E cannot be strictly less than, let me write that down clearly. The infimum of the set E cannot be strictly less than S naught, since S naught is an element of E. Yeah, we have shown that there is indeed a subsequence of Xn converging to the point S naught. So S naught belongs to the set E. So this means that we must have equality. So hence infimum of E must be equal to S naught, and we are done. That is limit inferior of the sequence xn is equal to, the right hand side is the limit of the sequence Sn in this case. Is this all right? Do I take this silence as a yes? Yes, please.
I have my connection, network connection. I don't understand the last part. Could you explain it again? Why is the equality there?
Over here, this part here.
For the infimum E is equal to S naught.
See, I am using this very basic fact here that if you have a set A, right, and you have been, so I am talking about, so I am looking at the infimum of the set A, right, and okay, so given a set A, you consider the infimum of the set A, right? Now, suppose that so what am I trying to say? Suppose that infimum of the set A is less than equal to S naught for some real number S naught. Right? You forget what I have written upstairs. Just look at this in the red ink. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the greatest lower bound for the set A is at most S naught. This is what we are given. This is 1. And the observation 2 is that S naught itself belongs to the set A. Yes. Then what can you say about the infimum?
Ma'am, could you please say why from here we are saying that infimum of A equals to S naught?
Right. That's what I'm asking you. That's
Yes,
the
ma'am,
question.
but
Yeah.
that is the point I cannot understand.
Let me ask another question here. So over here, can S naught be strictly less than the infimum of A? Is that possible?
No, ma'am.
Why is that?
Because S0 is contained in the set A and the infimum, if it exists,
You take that infimum exists. Then what happens?
then this infimum will always be greater than equal to S0, but it cannot be strictly less than it.
The infimum of A will always be greater than or equal to X naught. What is that you're saying? Please repeat your again.
It cannot be strictly less than infimum of A. I'm saying that only.
What cannot be strictly less than infimum of A?
S0.
S naught cannot be strictly less than infimum of A. This cannot happen. No, right? Everybody agrees on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what does that imply?
That S0 is greater than equal to infimum of A.
Huh. Okay. So I will sort of leave this for you to figure out. Yeah? Please think about it a little bit. We have so everybody agrees up till this point. Up till this point. Up till this point, is that okay with everybody? That infimum of xn is less than equal to s naught?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is that yes with everybody present here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So the question is, why cannot the infimum of E be strictly less than S naught? So can this happen? Can lim in of the sequence xn is equal to the infimum of the set E? Can this inequality hold? So if we say, I've written something in green ink. Do you see that at your end, or is there a lag?
We can see.
You can see. All right, wonderful. So can this happen? Can limit inferior of xn, which is the infimum of E, can that be strictly less than S naught?
That cannot happen.
Why is that the case?
Because S0 belongs to E.
So that's what I'm saying. The strict inequality cannot happen. So that means it's an equality. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay?
Could there be case that there is any other element which is less than S0, but I think that cannot happen because it is the supremum. Okay.
I don't know. Can you sort of repeat your question, please?
Ma'am, I was thinking that can there be any other element which is less than S0?
There can be many other elements. Can that happen? See, what I'm trying to suggest is you write, so let me write, say. So let's say, so you write, so let's say, so you give infimum of E a name, yeah? Let's call that S. S is a real number which is strictly less than S naught. That is what we have proved. And you're saying that S cannot be strictly less than S naught. Do you all agree on this? Then S has to be equal to S naught. No, there's no choice. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, isn't it? Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, is that okay? See, the meat of the problem is here constructing a subsequence that converges to S naught. And that requires just some very sort of delicate treatment, definition of infimum and supremum and nothing else. Is everybody with me now? People still have questions, please ask.
Yes,
ma'am. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So Kritika, is that okay with you? I didn't hear a yes from your end.
Ma'am, I don't know. I'm still confused why it means. We have been able to show that S naught belongs to E.
Correct.
But why is that it cannot be strictly less than S naught? I can't
See,
understand.
S naught belongs to the set E, right? And the infimum of E is the greatest lower bound, right? So the infimum of E would be less than equal to S naught, correct?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
follow this inequality, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
so the infimum of E, let's write infimum of E as S, yeah? So S is less than equal to S naught, right? Is that
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
But I claim that S cannot be strictly less than S naught. Why can S not be strictly less than S naught? Can that happen? Can S be strictly less than S naught? Can that happen? Is a question.
Ma'am, I was asking that in E means we have showed that S naught belongs to E. That is okay.
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah. So
but
your question is why can the infimum of E not be strictly less than S naught, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I'm asking you. I'm asking, throwing this question to the class. Why cannot the infimum of E be strictly less than S naught? Why S has to be strictly less than S naught? Somebody has a suggestion?
Ma'am, because Sn is monotonically increasing sequence.
Okay. So what happens?
So basically, Sn is monotonically increasing sequence,
Yes.
and the limit of Sn is equals to S naught. Then it is
I will write down what you are saying. Huh? I'll just otherwise lose the string of argument. So you're saying Sn is monotonically increasing, uh, and S naught is the limit of the sequence Sn. Actually, it's the supremum of Sn's, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then what happens?
Then it forces to S naught.
Hmm.
It must be S naught is always greater or equal to infimum of E.
So you're saying it follows that S naught is greater than equal to infimum of E. See, for that you need to do some more work. To show that S naught is greater than equal to infimum of E, you have to actually show a subsequence of the sequence xn that we started off, that is to S naught, and that's how you conclude this.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, see, this part, it follows that, it's not just straightforward from these two. You need to do a lot more work, and that is what we did today. Is that okay? See, this part, the infimum of E is less than equal to S naught, this requires this, that there is a subsequence of xn that converges to S naught. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the I'm asking is, let's write the infimum of E as S. Why cannot S be strictly less than S naught?
Ma'am, can we say it from the place where you have written that sk less than xnk less than s naught plus 1 by k? So for all sk we
Here.
can obtain.
Here is it. Here is it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So for all sk means like s1, s2, for every sk we can obtain such a subsequence which is less than s naught plus 1 by k. So basically all the subsequences are converging to S naught.
Not all the subsequences. There is a subsequence xnk converges to x naught.
Ma'am, that is true for all k, right?
Yes, for each k there is a subsequence, right?
So from there can we say that the infimum cannot be strictly less than S naught?
So you are right, but you need to polish your argument a little bit. So Kritika, what I'll tell you is, so you have some idea of how to proceed with this problem. Why don't all of you think about it? Yeah. So there is one missing link here, which I have put a red question mark. S, why can S be not strictly? Why is S strictly less than S naught? So I'll just erase this part. This is some rambling. Yeah, this is some rambling.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we'll go through the proof, and ma'am, can we discuss this at 2 p.m. today?
You go through the proof, think about it. If there are questions, then we take it up. I'm sure you can solve it on your own from this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Does that seem like a good plan, Kritika? I'll just erase these irrelevant parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but you sort of got some idea of what is to be done here.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. So okay, all right. So from my end, we sort of close this meeting now. Thank you all for your attention. Yeah, I'll just erase this part.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, can I say something about the class for Saturday?
Yes, please. Go ahead. So Arijit, you wanted to say something.